happy morning. Maya paabak po kaya kayo ngan. Naimbaga bigat kada kayo amin apo. Welcome again dito sa ating pong Angat Tarlakhenyo. And with me ay ang ating pong tatlong PSDS from Capas. Si Sir Delfin Sibal, ang ating PSDS po from Capas East District. Hi sir, happy morning.
Magandang umaga po.
Si Ma'am Cecilia Gomez, PSDS ng Capas Central District.
Yes,
Si
po.
Sir Robbie. Yes ma'am, welcome po. Si Sir Robbie o Dr. Roberto Santos Jr. ang PSDS po ng Capas West District. And welcome again dito sa ating Angat Tarlakhenyo. Kamusta na po kayo?
Mabuti po. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Okay. So, sila po yung ating mga presenter ngayon dito sa ating Angat Tarlakhenyo at napakaganda ng kanilang capstone. I am Booster Shop. Ayan. Para yung mga pa-booster natin sa COVID-19, sir, di ba? Sir Robbie,
Yes.
Sir Delfin, and Ma'am Cecil.
Yes,
At
po.
may pa-booster po dito ang DepEd. So, let's start na, Sir Robbie.
Magandang umaga sa mga nanonood at nakikinig ng Angat Tarlakhenyo segment sa RTV Tarlac Channel 26 na sabayan ring naririnig sa DCTZ 828 AM Radyo Filipina Tarlac. Good morning, SDO Tarlac Province. Ako po si Dr. Robbie Santos, ang Public Schools District Supervisor ng Capas West District. Magandang umaga, Capas West District School Heads, non-teaching personnel, teachers, learners, parents, at sa lahat po ng mga Kapasenyo. Kasama po natin ang PSDS ng Capas Central District na si Ma'am Cecilia S. Gomez.
Magandang umaga sa lahat ng taga-subaybay ng Angat Tarlakhenyo, lalong-lalo na sa mga Capas Central District at siyempre sa aming mga partners sa LGU Capas na pinamumunuan ng aming butihing mayor na si Attorney Roselier Boots Rodriguez, Vice Mayor Alex Espinosa, sa miyembro ng Sangguniang Bayan ng Capas at sa lahat po ng aming mga stakeholders. Magandang umaga, Capas Central District. Kasama din natin sa studio ang PSDS ng Capas East District na si Sir Delfin J. Sibal.
Mapagpalang umaga po sa lahat at sa mga tagapakinig, lalong-lalo na sa mga mag-aaral, mga guro, mga punong guro, mga magulang na nakikinig sa dako ng Distritong Silangan ng Capas. Good morning din po sa mga kapwa Public Schools District Supervisors at sa ating mga Education Program Supervisors. Maraming salamat po sa ating Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Ronnie S. Malyari at sa dalawang Assistant Schools Division Superintendents Dr. Armando C. Capili at Ma'am Maria Celina L. Vega. Kay Dr. Paulino L. Depano, CID Chief sa pagbibigay sa amin ng pagkakataon na may bahagi ang Capstones Project ng Munisipalidad ng Capas.
Okay. So this time, eto na po ang presentation ni Doc Robbie.
Yan po. Thank you po, Ma'am Leng. Ang munisipalidad ng Capas po ay binubuo ng tatlong distrito. Gaya ng nabanggit kanina, ito ang Capas East District, Capas Central District at Capas West District. Meron po kaming isang stand-alone senior high school. Meron din po kaming 8 secondary schools, isang integrated school, at meron po kaming 35 elementary schools sa aming munisipalidad. Ang title po ng aming capstone project ay I Am Booster Shop, Cloud-Based Learning Management System for Capaseños. I Am stands for Instruction and Materials for Learning. Yun po ang kahulugan ng I Am. Sige po. This is the scope of our presentation for this morning. We will be presenting the issues, concerns resulted from our FGD and survey we conducted. We will also have the prioritization strategy, the alignment of the issues and concerns, the design thinking model that we use, the capstone project itself, and the implementation strategies and activities. Ito po yung resulta ng FGD na kinonduct namin at survey na kinonduct ng 3 distrito batay sa tinatawag nating 7 M's. So, una po, ang mentor, under mentor, we have the following issues and concerns. We have insufficient trainings on the new trends of teaching approaches, challenges in the preparation of complete instructional materials, challenges in infusing and integrating literacy and numeracy across learning areas, and limited understanding of the teacher on assessment. So the major issue or concern under mentor is the challenges in the preparation of complete instructional materials. Under mentee, the following emerge as the major issues or concerns. Number 1, our learners having the learning difficulties. And another major issue here is the low numeracy and literacy among our learners. For the methods, the main concern is the need for innovative teaching methods and approaches. On measurement, the need for contextualized assessment tools was the major concern identified and resulted from the FGD and the survey conducted. And for the matter, these are the issues. We have the congested curriculum, congested competencies, the focus on competencies which need to be mastered, especially for lower grades. Learning content must be appropriate and must be suited to the level of understanding of our learners. And introduction of the new lesson takes time because prerequisite skills or knowledge are also not mastered by our learners. And the focus should be made on the mastery of the basic skills, which are the literacy and numeracy skills. So those are the major issues under matter. On materials, there are a lot of issues emerge under materials. We have the localization and contextualization of learning materials, unavailability of learning materials, lack of teaching resources, and teachers should localize and indigenize their instructional materials. So, the materials focus on the contextualization and localization of learning resources. Under management, the following emerge as the major issues: insufficient budget to finance the programs, projects, and activities of the school, innovation and wise use of resources, and the need for training on curriculum content and pedagogies. So those are the issues, concerns resulted from our FGD and survey. And then from that major issues, we have to prioritize. And this is our prioritization strategy. So with our with the criteria we use, we have the importance, on urgency, and gravity. Learning difficulties rank first among the issues and concerns we identified using the 7 M's, and rank second was the lack of teaching resources. So these two are the priorities of the municipality of Capas. We use the Pareto principle in the addressing the major issues and concerns. So 20%, if we will be able to address the learning difficulties, which is the low numeracy and literacy, and the lack of the lack of teaching resources or the contextualized and localized resources, we will also be able to address the other 80%, which includes the challenges in the preparation of complete instructional materials, trainings on the new trends, need for innovative teaching methods and approaches, maximize the utilization of ICT, contextualized assessment tools, congested competencies, and knowledge on curriculum content and pedagogies. So we will be focusing on the 20%, the low learning difficulties and the lack of teaching resources. Of course, the issues identified are aligned with the CRA of our SDS on curriculum and instruction management, the CRA of the PSDS under CRA 1, which is the supporting curriculum management and implementation. Of course, this is also aligned with the CRA of our school heads under the PPSSH Domain 3, focusing on teaching and learning, and the CRA of our teachers on curriculum and planning. The major issues identified are also aligned with our Matatag agenda. Under the Matatag agenda, under making the curriculum relevant to produce competent and job-ready, active and responsible citizens is the first component that will ensure a more strengthened literacy and numeracy program. The GA, which is give support to teachers to teach better. This is in terms of innovative, responsive, and inclusive teaching approaches. This is also aligned with our strategic direction of the SDO Tarlac province under enhancing the foundational skills of our learners to ensure adherence to Matatag agenda and provide quality assured learning materials to our learners. Again, this is also aligned with the CID Framework 2023 on literacy, numeracy, and scientific literacy, and updating activities focusing on content and pedagogies. And of course, down to the level of the school, on the school improvement plan, the school performance on quality, on learning standards and performance, and PPA's interventions to address the learning gap. So those are the alignment of our issues and concerns with the CRA of all the concerned and to the Matatag agenda. So we use the design thinking in the proposing this innovation. Under the design thinking, we emphasize. So we conducted the FGD and survey. We identified the gap. We will also be defining and reviewing literature review so that we can prioritize, ideate, we'll propose possible solution, prototype, and test. So basically, this is the model that we will be adopting for our capstone project, the design thinking model. So here are now the challenges for Capas municipality, for the municipality of Capas. How might we address the learning difficulties among our learners? And how might we solve the lack of teaching resources? So ito po yung dalawa na susubukan naming ma-address sa pamamagitan ng aming capstone project. So we conducted literature review on numeracy, focusing on numeracy and literacy. These are the reviewed literature. And from the reviewed literature, this is the ideation process that we had. Under learning difficulties or the low numeracy and literacy, we will be producing materials that will address the numeracy and literacy for our key stage 1 and Key Stage 2 for the Phase 2 of the project in printed, non-printed audiovisual materials. Now, this is from the reviewed literature by Layug 2021. Then we will also be conducting trainings for teachers and school heads on various strategies in addressing learning difficulties, the provision of research-based TA and promotion of social learning as suggested by AYADE 2019 with the help of knowledgeable others on learning difficulties. And we will also be utilizing the instructional materials allowance of teachers under the municipal ordinance in the municipality of Capas. And for the lack of teaching resources, we will be developing boosters that will address the literacy and numeracy issues of our learners. This is this is from Reyes 2019, and we will also hold capacity building activities, workshop on the development of boosters, Morales 2014, and making contextualized learning resources accessible to all teachers using learning management system. So this is the idea from the reviewed literature. This will be the activities that will help us to achieve our objectives, the objectives of the capstone project. So the learning difficulties, we will be addressing that through reading and numeracy boosters. The lack of learning resources will be addressed by the development of LR and boosters, and the access on the materials, we will be utilizing cloud-based learning management system. So basically, the capstone project is divided into two phases, but the focus of our implementation will be on the phase 1 muna po, on reading and numeracy for our key stage 1 learners using learning boosters on reading and numeracy. So this is our project, the I Am Booster Shop cloud-based learning management system for Capaseños. So this is the objectives. These are the objectives rather of our project. Objectives. Number 1, of course, we will boost the reading and numeracy performance of our key stage 1 learners. 2, we will develop quality learning boosters on reading and numeracy. And number 3, we will provide access to various quality teaching and learning boosters. Kaya po tinawag siyang booster kasi we thought that these boosters will help our learners on issues on numeracy and literacy. Now, ano po ba yung cloud-based learning management system? So, a cloud-based learning management system allows learners and teachers to access the platform from anywhere with an internet connection. This type of LMS does not require our users to install hardware or software on their systems. All the data and information are stored in the cloud, which means you can use the LMS from any Wi-Fi enabled mobile devices. So, pwede po nilang gamitin ang kanilang cellphones or laptops or computers. Because of the flexibility and convenience, a cloud-based learning solution is a great option for organizations to consider. Kaya po, ito yung naisip naming solution to address the access on boosters on numeracy and literacy. By the way, what are the benefits of using the learning management system. Meron po tayong na-identify na 8 na advantages o benefits ng paggamit ng learning management system. Una, yung blended learning. An LMS makes blended learning possible. One that combines multiple forms of learning like e-learning, mobile learning, simulation-based learning, and even the traditional classroom learning session. Number 2, engaged learning. An LMS puts the learner in active control of their learning, thus keeping them engaged in the process rather than limiting them to be passive receivers of information. Learners can view, organize, and schedule their learning activities based on the preferences, something that is great of interest to them. Number 3, leverages technology. Technology is driving our preference in every sphere and is becoming increasingly challenging in any aspect of our daily life. No? And number 4, geographically independent learning. Cloud-based LMS enabled and dynamic access across devices make learning accessible. Number 5, increased social learning. An LMS also makes it possible to integrate social learning elements. Conceptualize this, think of Facebook or Twitter as a learning platform. So mga learning platform din yon, where the learners and teachers can share updates, pictures, infographics, videos, and more related to education. And number 6, flexibility to learning. Enable flexibility and motivate learners to learn. Number 7, performance support. An LMS makes it possible to deliver a robust performance support system for our learners, for our teachers, by giving them the ready-at-hand access to just-in-time learning. And number 8, lastly, extended learning. An LMS allows extended learning activities to be monitored, recorded, and added to the account of the individuals. So, yun po yung mga advantages ng paggamit ng LMS. Now, the question is, how does IM Booster Shop work? Ayan po ang gusto nating malaman kung paano ito mag-work. Addressing learning deficiencies among our key stage 1 learners and the need for learning resources are the 2 challenges, no? Kaya nanabanggit po kanina. Reading and numeracy will be the learning difficulties that will be focused on. Various strategic learning resources or boosters will be designed, developed, and quality assured by booster shop owners, content experts, ICT commanders, and LR managers. All learning resources will be made available in the shop, which is called the booster shop, that aim to booster learning on reading and numeracy of our struggling learners and elevate the weakest competencies. Baseline assessment will be conducted before the utilization of the materials in the shop. Final assessment will be given after using the learning resources to measure the objectives of the project. The rule of thumb when using the shop is to add 1 booster to the cart. So isa-isa muna po ang i-add ng mga teachers and learners natin sa cart nila at a time. Dahil gusto natin ma-master muna nila yung mga maunang mga i-upload natin sa booster shop. This will give the learners the opportunity to master the competences before adding other materials to their learning cart. This is inspired by various online delivery services like Shopee, Lazada, and others. The materials are downloadable via various devices, and user feedback and monitoring will be used for continuous adjustment and improvement. So, meron din po siyang portion wherein our teachers can put their feedback or comments, just like the comments that we used to give to our products, no, the mga products na binibili natin sa Shopee and Lazada. So, i-adapt po namin yung ganong mekanismo upang malaman namin ang mga feedback from our teachers. For the activities, ito po yung mga gagawin naming mga activities. Information dissemination, presentation of the project in the 3 district, and Ma'am Leng, this is one of the activities, no, na
Yes,
para po maipaalam namin ang aming project sa lahat. Also, we will be meeting the project committee members, our writers, content experts, validators, ICT coordinators, our master teachers, and school heads. We will also be reskilling and upskilling our project committee members. We will have the prototyping or the development and validation of the learning materials or the boosters, and try out of the materials. Magkakaroon po kami ng try out, and uploading of the boosters in the LMS. And then also, we will be having the pilot implementation of the project. So, hindi po muna lahat. So, magkakaroon muna po kami ng pilot testing of the project. And we'll have the feedbacking and adjustment and evaluation of the results. And for our time frame, August 2023, the conceptualization, the proposal approval. By the way, this is all already approved by our superintendent, and we also presented this to our superintendent, Ma'am Leng. September to November, we will be having our teaming or the staffing, wherein we will be assigning the members of the committee so that our work, kasi naniniwala po kami, sabi ng aming superintendent, when you know your people, half of the work is done. Yan po. And we believe to our people, to our teachers and school heads. Development of the validation of the boosters and launching. Actually, this is pwede na natin masabing launching na.
This is the launching now.
Yes,
Kasi
of
wag
our
po kasi
capstone
to.
project.
Yes.
And of course, the pilot implementation. And on December 2023 onwards po, evaluation and adjustment, full implementation of the project, and monitoring and evaluation. For our resources, of course, we will involve all the learners, the teachers, the parents, the stakeholders, school heads, our partners from the LGU, our stakeholders, the PSDSS, kami pong tatlo, our CID chief, our assistant superintendents, and of course, our SDS, Dr. Ronnie Malyari. For the materials, we'll have the numeracy and reading materials, or yung mga boosters na tinatawag natin, the videos, the PowerPoint presentation, and other learning resources. And for the financial, because may financial na side ito, of course, alam po namin na this is supported by our LGU officials, SEF, teachers IM allowances, and donations from our stakeholders. So those are the resources po. And for the sustainability of the project, we will ink MOA with our LGU and stakeholders so that we can strengthen the project. We will explore other technology tools for the project. Alam po namin na hindi to perfecto. Kaya as we go along with the project, marami pa po kaming ma-improve. And we will develop online assessment for our learners in the future. So, yan po ang aming project ng Municipality of Capas. I am Booster Shop, a cloud-based learning management platform for Capaseños. And ito po ang aming kaming tatlong PSDS kasama ang aming mayor at aming vice mayor at mga miyembro ng Sangguniang Bayan ng Capas. Maraming salamat po sa time na binigay sa amin upang ma-share namin ang aming capstone project.
Okay, so ayan po. I am Booster Shop, cloud-based learning management system for Capaseños. So, Doc Robbie, ano po ang naging inspirasyon nyo sa pagbuo ng inyong capstone no project?
Opo, una po ang aming mga mag-aaral, ma'am. Dahil alam naman natin na nagdaan tayo sa pandemic. So, meron talagang kaming kailangang gawin para sa numeracy and literacy ng aming mga mag-aaral. Gusto namin itong iangat pa at isulong. At syempre po pangalawa, dahil na rin po sa inspirasyon mula sa aming napakahusay na Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Ronnie Malyari, sa lahat ng kaalaman na binahagi sa amin sa pagpapatupad ng mga ganitong proyekto.
Okay. So, paano nabuo itong magandang ideyang ito, Sir Robbie? Alam ko, ang dami niyong nag-usap-usap, nagplano rito. So, paano niyo nabuo ito?
Opo, ma'am. Nagsimula po ito sa mga bootcamp namin na ginagawa. Na ang nagpa-facilitate mismo po ang aming superintendent. Mula sa mga bootcamps na ito, doon po nabuo yon at sa aming brainstorming na ginagawa kasama ang aking mga kasamang PSDS at collaboration, nabuon po namin itong I Am Booster Shop. So malaking tulong po yung mga bootcamps na ginagawa sa aming division.
Okay. So, yung nilalaman po nitong I Am Booster Shop and cloud-based learning system na ito. So, more on instructional materials muna. Then, the phase 2 is yung more on para sa internet na gano'n.
Sa phase 2 po, sa key stage to learner siya. Gagamit din po kami ng internet sa phase 1.
Sa phase 2.
Yes, ma'am. Gagamit din po kami.
So, paano na makakatulong ito sa ating mga estudyante and sa mga teachers natin,
Yes,
Sir Robbie?
Sir
Yan,
Delfin.
si Sir Delfin.
Umaasa po kami na mapapaangat namin ang antas ng literacy at numeracy ng mga bata sa tulong ng mga learning resources na buuin sa proyekto pong ito, Ma'am Len.
So, ibig sabihin po, all levels, elementary and high school po ito, sir? O elementary
Key
lang?
stage
One
1
muna
muna
po.
po. Ibig po sabihin
Elementary.
grade 1 to grade
Grade 3,
3
ang priority
grade
muna.
1 to grade 3.
Opo.
Okay, so ibubuo muna ng ating mga teachers
Opo.
itong mga learning materials na ito.
Then eventually, later on po siguro, magiging scaffolding siya, magiging basihan siya para pupunta po kami sa susunod na key
Grade
stage
level.
po. Opo, grade level na.
Okay. So, ano yung mga paghahanda? Naku, ito medyo malulo, no? Yung mga paghahanda na inyong ginagawa para sa inyong project o capstone.
Nagpapasalamat po kami sa pagkakataong ito, kagaya ng ginagawa natin na massive advocacy sa pag-interview ninyo sa studio na maibahagi po namin yung nilalaman po ng kabuuan ng proyektong ito. Gayun din, magsasagawa po kami ng mga trainings, ng mga pagpaplano sa lahat ng mga magiging kabahagi po para maihanda ng lahat ang dapat po namin gawin. Kasi hinay-hinay, Ma'am Leng.
Yes.
Slowly but surely po
Tama,
siguro
oo.
yung aming sikreto, Ma'am.
Basta itong trabaho ito.
Opo.
Okay, thank you po, Sir Delfin. Si Ma'am Cecil, ano yung posibleng impact ng proyektong ito, itong capstone ninyo?
Ma'am Leng, inaasahan po namin na makamit namin ang mga proyektong ito. Una po ay yung mapataas namin ang performance ng aming mga key stage 1 learners sa literacy at numeracy. Pangalawa po ay yung matugunan namin ang mga pangangailangan sa mga materyales na kinakailangan ng mga guro para sa pagtuturo ng literacy at numeracy. Napakahalaga po ng mga materyales na ito para po ma-boost pa natin ang performance. Ma-boost pa natin
Booster
Oo, ng ating mga mag-aaral po sa Capas.
Napakaganda kasi nung kanilang capstone.
Salamat
Yung
po.
tagline pa lang, booster. Ano?
Opo.
Ibig sabihin, paangatin pa.
Paangatin po.
I-level up pa po yung quality ng performance ng ating mga guro and especially yung mga learners
Opo.
natin. Grade 1 to grade
Grade 3
3.
muna.
Okay. Siguro, eto, panawagan, panghuling mensahe sa mga
Opo.
tutulong po, LGU, stakeholders,
Opo.
baka meron pa kayong gustong pasalamatan, and of course, yung ipanawagan na rin para sa inyong capstone.
Ma'am Leng, una po, siyempre gusto naming pasalamatan ang aming SDS ng Tarlac Province, Doc Ron Malyari, para sa pagkakataong ito, no? Gustong-gusto po niya ito, yung mapanood po at maipaabot sa mga Capasenyo ang aming proyekto. Pangalawa po, yung sa lahat ng mga guro, sa lahat ng mga school heads, yung masisipag naming mga school heads ng Capas, mga mapagsuporta po mga LGU ng Capas, sa lahat po ng mga stakeholders namin. Mahalaga po ang inyong pagsuporta at tulong para sa ikatatagumpay nito. Kaya ngayon pa lang po kami ay lubos na pong nagpapasalamat sa inyong lahat. At syempre po, maraming salamat, Ma'am
As
Leng,
always.
sa Angat Tarlakhenyo segment, sa mga hosts, staff at management ng RTV Tarlac Channel 26, DZTC 828 AM at Radyo Filipino Tarlac. Marami pong salamat at God bless you all po.
As
Maraming salamat
always po, nandito
Maraming
kami.
salamat.
Okay, Sir Delfin, baka may mensahe ka pa, baka may gusto kang batiin din dyan.
Shout out po sa lahat ng mga nakikinig at laging sumusubaybay po dito sa programang ito. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Leng.
Okay, Sir Robbie.
Yes, nice ko pong ulitin batiin ang lahat ng nakikinig, nanonood sa Capas West District. At syempre po, Ma'am Lang, maraming salamat po sa pagbibigay niyo ng time para ma-share natin ang project.
As always, para sa ating mga parents, para sa mga learners, and of course, DepEd officials po headed by Doc Ronnie Malyari. So, ayan po, ang ating mga presenter today, si Doc Roberto D. Santos Jr., PSDS po ng Capas West District, si Ma'am Cecilia Gomez, PSDS ng Capas Central District, and Sir Delfin J. Sibal, PSDS po ng Capas East District. At ako po ang inyong lingkod, Leng Lopez Jamson po, para sa ating Angat Tarlakhenyo. Hanggang bukas po, RTV team, DCTC team, maraming salamat viewers and listeners. Hanggang bukas.